John. And last week, we look at some of the aspects of some of the things that John told us about Jesus. We now know that John was the one who baptized who? Say it like you don't believe it. Yes. And John was a bit reluctant to do it because John was saying, look, I need to what? To be baptized of. But that's not how it goes in salvation. Christ said to him, suffer it to be so when? Fulfilling the Gospels. This week, looking at what? The signs of what? And who are we related to? John was a mouth talker. John not just say things. Jesus even not just a talker. But Christ, if him say something, him back it up. All John was here. I am the way, the truth, and the life. I am the true vine. I am the door. What other I am? I am the resurrection. I am the Alpha and the Omega. And if we go back to the Old Testament, we will remember that when God was sending Moses to tell that Jesus talking. So in fact, he is the I am. So about who he is. Man might have a problem, like the disciples and the multitude know that their focus on elsewhere. Them bread, as they were there about other bread. What was the bread they were worrying about? Physical. And you're right. They want us to do what? Set up them so that they could get, as of course, bonded or under persecution from the Roman powers. And they wanted somebody to combat that. So they were hoping that Christ would establish an earthly kingdom so that within that kingdom and they would to fight and the Romans. But that's what Christ was interested in. To show that he was in fact the. What did he do? He was addressing it. The Bible said 5,000 men. And men were not children. And their mothers were there. So we could easily multiply by 3. And then we could get an idea of what the multitude. And I'm using the microphone. Christ, as he is, the kind of compassionate person that he is, time was right for him. He really was. And since he is divine, only going to He's not only going to say to them, look, bread of life. The Bible that just around the time of the place, Passover, does the lamb represent? Yes, ultimately, it celebrated their triumphant what? Their triumphant. Talk to me, man. Deliverance. Firstborn. You remember them? When the death angel passed over the camp, gave them an instruction that they should kill a lamb and they should put on the what? And the Israelites obeyed, and for that reason they were saved. That is an of the relationship with Christ. Over. Therefore, the Adventists, we don't need to kill any lamb and to say, because Christ is the lamb slain for all for our sins. If we are obedient to him, washed in the blood from sin and its penalty. Passover, and Christ wanted to show him that he is in fact the Passover. He that was sent God. They, especially the religious leaders. Christ fed 5,000 men. And after they fed, what happened? He commanded the disciples to take up the leftovers. And what was 12 baskets full. The author tends to give the connection to the 12 baskets to the 12 tribes of Israel. I don't know why, but they were making some comparisons. All right? But Christ fed them. He is indeed the bread of life. And even with that, they miss the real motive. They're trying after him, trying to capture him, to force him to establish the kingdom. Did you know that? So Christ had to escape and sin. And what disciples sailed. Because in the evening, he came, and what happened? Somebody tell me. In the evening, when the disciples were already in the boat going across. Man, that's easy. Hooked. And they walked and catch with them and go in the boat. And look what happened now. The Bible said after he got into the boat, they immediately reached them destination. Sound miraculous. The moment Christ stepped in at the boat, the Bible said them reached the other side of the Sea of Galilee. And even with that, they were still in disbelief. They still did not understand his true mission. And even saying he's a prophet, they take it seriously. All right? So Christ continued because his mission was to reveal his divinity. Not just talk about it. He said, bread of life, and he fed the 5,000. Secondly, there was an encounter with a blind man. Anybody remember that story? Yeah. Yes.
all the miracles you just described, the people there, they could know within themselves that this is not an ordinary man.
There you go.
Right? Mm-hmm. The miracle. The question that I pondered, why is it that it was so hard for them to believe then? And is it any different now? Right? If I may, the reason I'm thinking is that this decision shows the willingness or the power of the decision making, how that it is. The heart, the willingness of the heart for us to believe. And the same thing is today. Yes. No matter what evidence that is there, you don't have, or it can be either willingness and unwillingness is a factor of you decision is the same. So no matter what some people say, maybe God will even come from heaven, people will believe. That's right. And that's the willingness of the heart for you to accept or reject.
That's so true. And you have Christ had to Christ very often. You see, you know, all of them follow me first for the bread and the fish. Because in their heart, they didn't believe. And they were even guessing him because they were saying that they don't think he was convinced himself that he was
asking them to show him a sign.
Exactly. And they asked him for a sign. That's when he had to remind them that the manna that Moses gave you, and Moses give it to you. I was